to get started with the training. I just finished introducing myself, and I'm Non-Monogamous Mark, and I'm the co-founder and executive director of Non-Monogamous Lifestyles Association. And so let us know who you are in the chat box and what city you're in. I'm coming to you right now from my Burien, Washington, where I grew up. I spent most of my life here. And then I live here with my partner, Chris. And I also live in Ventura, California with my partner, Kat. And so I go back and forth between the two places. And I'll tell you, sometimes this time of the year, coming back here, I have a hard time warming up. You know, I left Ventura, California this past, Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that. And it was beautiful and sunny and warm, and came here to Seattle, and it was rainy and wet and cold. So it's sometimes a little nicer this time of the year in California than it is here. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And so let me just click on something over here. And there we go. And so we're going to be getting started, and just put on the screen. I probably need to work out some technical issues here, and we'll get that later, where this banner that just showed up will come on later in the presentation. But right now I don't want to cause any more delays, and so we're going to then get started here by I'd like to take and just ask you a question. You can just think about your answer, or you can go ahead and put it in the chat box. But why is it important to feel the life that you most desire before you can create it? Or do you even know what that means, to feel the life that you most want before you can create the life that you most desire? And so if you know what that means, then let me know that. If you don't know what that means, let me know that. And so we're going to go ahead and get started talking about that. Let me switch here, share my desktop with you so that you can see some things here that I prepared. And again, this is all new for me, so I'm kind of learning as I'm going here. And so hopefully in the future, then this will be a little smoother, but okay. And so the workshop or the seminar for today is that you must feel it before you can believe it. And in order to create the life that you most desire, you have to be able to feel it first. And so if you can't feel it, you're not going to create it. What in your life plays the biggest role in creating the life that you most want? Go ahead and put that down there in the chat. Answer that, and just let me know what in your life plays the biggest role in creating the life that you most want. What do you think it is? Well, it's not visualizing it, you know, it's not fake it until you make it. Maybe you've heard of doing some of these things. It's not working hard at it. It's not doing a study or studying it. It's not reading books or going to school. You know, some people think they just need more education, and other people think, well, I just need to read a couple more books to learn how, and things like that. And it's the most important thing, or the biggest thing in creating the life you want is not any of these things. It's not listening to things. It's not going to another seminar or workshop. It's not thinking about it. It's not working so that you can get, you know, just work and work hard. It's not fixing you. You're not broken. And a lot of people think that maybe something's wrong with them, and it's not needing a self-improvement or personal development. What it is it's your emotions, also known as your feelings. You have to be able to feel it before you can be it. See, the thing is about your emotions is that when you can start to feel it, actually feel it, you begin to do it. And that's what holds most of us back from really progressing and creating the life that we desire and want the most, is that we don't really do it, or we get started doing it and we stop doing it because of our feelings and our emotions. And so when you have the emotion of feeling it, of feeling the life that you want to create, it's like, imagine yourself, just think of something that you would like to create in your life, or something you'd like to have in your life, whether it be something in just having and creating better health, or losing some weight, or getting off of prescription medications, or being able to go out there and run a marathon, or think about maybe something like being able to make $25,000 a month, or think about having the relationship of your dreams, or multiple relationships that you just absolutely cherish, or think about having just absolutely amazing sex all the time, and so any of these things, think about that, and then notice how that feels when you think about having that, because when you feel it, you begin to do it and be it. And so when we don't feel it is then what we simply don't do it and we don't be it. I started to learn some of these things years ago when I started to really think about and learn about people like, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and, the co-founder of Amazon, and these people in Seattle that are mega wealthy guys. And I realized, well, wait a minute, they didn't feel like they had to go out and get more education or read more books or get more motivated or change in their life at all. They just simply started to do it. And when they started to do it, they became who they are today. It was the process that took them there. And so it's just getting out there and doing it. But what stops you from doing it is usually because you don't feel it. And so you have to feel it in order to do it. And so before you can be it, you have to feel it. When you begin to feel it, and you'll also begin to do it. When you begin to do it, and you'll begin to be it, then that's when you create that in your life, and you'll be creating the life that you want. You can want it, you can plan it, you can learn about it, you can set goals, you can do all kinds of things, but if you're not feeling it, because that's keeping you from doing it, if you're not feeling it, until you begin to feel it, you will not begin to do it, and you will not begin to be it. Well, there are 6 patterns that keep most people from feeling it, though. And I'm going to go through those 6 patterns for you. And the first one is that, many of us get to feeling like we're just not good enough, and some of those feelings come from experiences that we've had as an adult. Some of those feelings come from experiences we had as a child. And some of those experiences come from long before then. It's like built into your DNA. And so you just have this feeling, though, that you're just not good enough. And then if you feel you're not good enough, then you're not going to start to do it. Because, what's the use in getting started if you're not good enough? And other people, will think that I'm not worthy. I'm not worth it. I don't deserve it. And I'm not valuable enough. And so that's another pattern that people have. And then there's, I don't belong. I remember hearing this story about a guy who was very successful, but he was successful in sports and things of that nature. And he kind of then was invited to come to this social function where there's a bunch of business people at, and it was just a social function, just hang out with these business people. But this person then, who was very successful in sports, he then went to that function and he just came away from there and saying, I just don't belong with those people. And so that's another part of it then, is feeling that you don't belong, picturing yourself with the life that you want to create, the things that you want to have in your life. And if you don't feel that you belong in that group of people that have those things and have that kind of life, then that'll hold you back as well. And thinking I'm not capable. Well, that's just not me. I hear that comment all the time. That's just not me. Or I can't do that. Or, these kinds of things keep you from feeling it, so that you don't do it. And with I'm not capable, also things that people do then is they keep getting more education and feeling that that's the solution for them. Well, and then also I'm insignificant, and if you feel like I'm insignificant, I'm just, who am I? That was one of the things that my own upbringing that, was instilled upon my head that I had to overcome. And is who are you? Why, what makes you think that you're going to be able to do this or that? I'm just insignificant. You're nobody, just like the rest of your family, and that kind of thing was drilled into my head. And then the last six of the six is that I need to be perfect. And that was something that, man, I was a perfectionist for a long time. And so I don't know how many of these different things relate to you, but there's certainly one of those, at least one of them, if not more of them, is what keeps you, what holds you back from being able to actually feel the life that you want to create. Feel healthy, or feel that wealthy, or to feel like you have the relationships that you desire, or to feel that you are having the sex life that you want to have. And if that weren't enough, those six things weren't enough, these are what we call six self-sabotaging patterns. Well, if they weren't enough, well, the feeling that will grow is what you feed your energy to. You see, your energy is your words and your thoughts and your feelings. I talk a lot about that. And the feelings that will grow will be what you feed your energy to. And what happens, most of us, when we start to feel those things, maybe we just don't believe in ourselves because of one of those six things. And so we just can't feel it. And so we focus on the negative parts of our lives then. We feel like, well, I'm just not worthy. And we focus on that, or I just can't do that, or I'm not capable, or I'm not good enough, or any of those six beliefs, those six self-destructive things that I went through. Then you start to thinking about those, and you have your words even that, well, I've heard people say, well, I just can't do that. That's not me, and well, I'm not smart enough, and people will say things like this. They use their words and their thoughts and also their feelings so that it keeps them from having the feelings that they need to have. And so that becomes a problem as well. And so here's what to do, though. I don't want to give you all the problems. I want to give you some solutions. And the feelings that will grow is what you feed your energy to. And so that is part of the problem, but it's also part of the solution. And that's the good thing about this, is that you can decide to stop feeding what you don't want. Just decide that you're not going to feed what you don't want. And then second thing is to start being aware of what you're feeding all of the time. Make sure that every minute of every day, being aware of what the feeling is that you're feeding. Are you feeding those beliefs about yourself that you're not good enough, you're not capable, or you're not smart enough, and those kinds of things? Or are you feeding the things about yourself that is going to help you to create the life that you want and you desire, your most desire? And so you can feed yourself, you can feed your energy to the things that you want instead of the things that you don't want. Now, the third step then is to be intentional about what you feed. And that's what I said. You first decide you're going to stop feeding what you don't want, and then start being intentional about what you do feed. And what is it that you want to feed? What are the feelings that you want to feed? You want to feed, like, for instance, if you feel like, well, I just really can't go over there and talk with that gal and wonder if we could maybe spend the night together. Or I can't do that because I'm not significant enough, or I'm probably not good enough. And if you have any of those kinds of feelings that keep you from going over there and approaching her, then start to stop feeding that, and instead start feeding what it is that you want. And start feeding like, hey, I'm as good as anybody else. And start feeding things that'll give you that feeling of confidence and that feeling that energizes you. That's then, like we said, that when you start to feeling, you'll start to do. And so feed what you want, don't feed what you don't want. Now, it's really important that you feed yourself in the morning. Or, maybe you're a person that works graveyard shift or something like that. And so your morning starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Whatever time it is that you first wake up in the morning or afternoon or night, but whenever you first wake up, it's really important that you do you have a really good morning feeding habit or a good morning feeding ritual. And that's the feeding that will grow when you feed your energy to it. So you got to decide to stop feeding what you don't want. Beware of what you are feeding all the time. And so I see people all the time, they say, well, when they're asked a question, well, how are you doing? Well, I'm not quite sure yet, or I'm not doing very good, or, well, it's too early to know, or, this weather's really got me down, and so you don't want to let your circumstances decide what is going to go on for your day. Instead, then, every morning, what you want to do is you want to decide what and how your day is going to be. Whether it's going to be good, bad, happy, sad, indifferent. I myself, I like to wake up in the morning and just decide that I'm going to have a great day and start my day that way. And that's what I feed myself right when I get up. And I have that habit of doing that. I've been doing that a long time now. And it's just a matter of creating that habit so that when you first wake up in the morning, that you just know it's going to be a really great day. I don't care if you slept bad throughout the night, but when you wake up in the morning, that your energy is that I'm going to have a really great day, or not, I'm just really so tired. A lot of times I only get 2-3 hours a night of sleep. And I don't wake up and put my energy to, I'm just too tired to know how I'm going to do it today. I just start out, I wake up and I just know that it's going to be a great day. And so you want to start your day by feeding that energy. And every day, begin each day feeding yourself with those things that make you feel like you're on top of the world, like music. I have a new playlist on my channel that I just started here the other day, and I hope that you'll come and listen and go to that playlist quite a bit. But it's songs of happiness and celebration. I'm collecting songs. Will add, a couple songs now and then, but it's just songs of happiness and celebration. And so that you then can go to that playlist, and at any time you can just hit the playlist and play all the songs or play a few of them. And they're songs of happiness and celebration. Another thing, so besides music that can be helpful to you, is motivation and inspiration, in the morning. And so there's lots of things that you can listen to, whether it be a podcast, but I myself, I've been for a long time listening to motivational, inspirational YouTube videos in the morning. And so I decided that that's another thing I'm going to create here in a week or so, within the next week, is that I'm going to create a motivational and inspirational playlist so that you'll be able to go onto that playlist and you'll see videos in there, not by me, but by other people, that are just incredibly motivational and inspirational. And then the last thing to do with your morning feeding is to start each day meditating. Now, start each day meditating. A lot of people aren't used to meditating. I certainly wasn't. And so I want to go through some things that are about why meditate. And these things that are on this list are all been studies have been done. And these aren't just being subjective terms and words that I'm throwing out there, but there have been studies that have been done on this. And as far as why meditate, well, it transforms your life from the inside out. It literally changes your life. And it promotes happiness. There are rich people that are unhappy. There are people that are incredibly successful and famous and celebrities and things like that that are unhappy. And so all the things, when you think about creating the life that you want to create, I hope that one of those things is creating a life that's really happy. Because if it's just creating a life that's where you're just wealthy, or creating a life where you're healthy, there's a lot of wealthy people. There are a lot of healthy people that are unhappy. And so I want you to think about that, where meditation really promotes happiness. It impacts the voice that little voice is going on in your head all the time. It has an impact on that little voice. It improves your health. It increases your concentration, gives you better control over your emotions. It actually can improve your sex life. They've proven, they've shown meditating improves your sex life. It reverses aging. I'm 62 years old, and people say, well, you sure don't look like you're 62. And I don't feel like I'm 62. It changes your brain waves patterns. And so that's all scientifically proven as to what meditations can do. And if I went and spent more time researching that, I probably could have found a list that's 5 times longer than what I have, where there have been scientific studies that have done on meditation. And so if that's not enough for you, though, it's like that's certain, those things right there certainly should be enough. But my journey with meditation, when I started meditating, which wasn't that many years ago, is, I don't know, less than 10 years ago, I started meditating, and I didn't know how to meditate. I didn't know what to meditate. Like you're supposed to just sit there and go, and things like that, and it was difficult for me. Even as recently, I really, in the last year, started to grow in my meditation experience, where I really started to then keen in, having good meditation experiences. And so one of the things that really helped me was doing meditations that are mindful meditations, that are life-changing meditations. And that's just really helped me a lot. And so these are, instead of just sitting there in silence by myself trying to meditate, okay, I got to meditate for 10 or 15 minutes. I got to meditate. That means I got to clear my mind and think about nothing, and then for a while, I didn't even know how to meditate. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And so, one of the things that helped me a lot, and I think that'll help you, is some meditation sessions, and specifically meditation sessions that help you to create the life that you want. Because there's a lot of meditation sessions out there on the internet that are just garbage. They're just, they promote peace and what have you. Well, that's part of what you want. But if you're just promoting peace, like, okay, yeah, I can sit here all day and say, well, I'm just feeling the peace, but I want you to create a life that's more than just sitting there feeling the peace. And so I have 30 life-changing meditations. They're done by my mentor. He sells these life-changing, this package of 30 meditations. He sells them for $1,997. And so here's the deal. I have arranged with my mentor to allow me to give 40 people these life-changing meditations absolutely free. And if you want to learn more about and how we're going to do that, is that for the first 40 people to sign up for my coaching program, they're going to get these 30 life-changing meditations. And no, my coaching program is not going to cost you anything close to even like $1,997. And so that's where it's a huge bonus. And these meditations, I personally have been through them. I personally find them to be life-changing meditations. I know how powerful they are. I know they'll be powerful for you as well. And so there's a link down there. Click that link, or just copy and paste it in your browser if you can do that. Or if you can't do that, then just type it into your browser. But go to that link and sign up for a free 30-minute consult. And when you do that, then we're going to tell you all about our coaching program. And learning about our coaching program, then you can see if it's a good fit for you, and we can see if you're a good fit to work with us, because we don't work with everybody. We can't work with everybody. And so we want you to be a good fit for us, and we want us to be a good fit for you. And so you'll learn all about it, find out more about it in the 30-minute consult. Click on that link or put it in your browser, and you'll understand more. Last suggestion I want to give you here, as far as what you can do, is that I want to recommend a book to you. It's called The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer. Amazing book about a guy that in the 60s was a hippie and long hair, and he kept his long hair and sandals for his whole life. He's now something like 70 years old. He at one point, I think his company he owned was worth $500 million. and that's like, then he was worth $500 million, you know, and he just has an incredible story. And he talks about how meditation totally, totally helped him in his life. And that's just one of the things he talks about. And the book is really talking about his life and how just learning to surrender his own self-imposed beliefs and stuff like that, you know, and just allow the energy then to start to flow in his life. And so look up that book and get that book and read it, listen to it, do something. That's a great book. And so 6 self-sabotaging patterns, though, those patterns that keep you from feeling it. And, you know, and what about those? How do you overcome those? You know, meditation, no, it would take you a lifetime of meditation. It's like Michael in his book, he talks, you know, you'll see it was a lifetime journey that took him through there. We don't all have, you know, 30, 40, 50 years. Same thing like going to therapy. Therapy can lock you in for years and years and years, and never really get the results in helping you to create the life that you want. So how can you overcome those 6 sabotaging patterns, we call them? You know, those 6 things that keep you from feeling it. Well, how you can do that is have that consult with us. That's what we're going to talk about in a 30-minute consult that we give you. And so you click on that link, and we're going to give you a bonus of 30 minutes of our time where we're going to then talk to you and answer all your questions about our coaching program. So that, again, then we're going to be asking you questions to see if you're a good fit for us. And then we're going to then find out if we're a good fit for you. And so go there to that link and get that 30-minute bonus. And then if you do decide that our coaching program works for you, then, you know, you'll get those 30 meditations. $2,000 is what my coach sells them for, but you'll get those meditations for free. And so there you have it. And I appreciate your being here with me. Okay, so let me figure out how to get back to. Okay, there we go. And so I'm back here with you then. And so let me know, you know, if you want one of those coaching sessions, but I thank you for being here. And if you aren't a subscriber of my channel, then I'm going to be doing on an average about 1 live stream a week, and I'll be doing some training. But then I also want to make sure that I have some, you know, like we'll have a question answer session here for you as well. And so tell me a little bit about if you have any questions about the material that I covered today. Put it in the chat there. If you have any questions, I'll be answering those questions now. Or if you have any questions about creating a life where you can have an abundance of health, and if you can have an abundance of wealth, have an abundance of relationships, and an abundance of sex. You know, that's what we call an ethical and consensual non-monogamous life. And we want to help you to create the ethical and consensual non-monogamous, the ECNM life of your dreams, and the life that you would love to live the most. And so if you have questions about any part of that, or if you have questions about my personal life, and you've been following me on my channel for a while now, or even my emails, and you have questions you've been wanting to ask me about my personal life, then go ahead and put those in the chat. And so I'll go ahead and see what comes through the chat. If no questions come through on the chat, though, then I will close the live stream session for today. I really appreciate your being here and sticking with me through this live stream. But let me know if you have any questions at all. We'll go ahead and put them in the chat. Thanks, Kat. Any questions? Okay, one person just went ahead and dropped off, and so then I guess then we're about done then. And there's still a couple of people here, but so a few of you that are still here, then go ahead, and if you have a question, let me know. If otherwise, then we'll go ahead and end this live stream session. And they'll keep getting better. You know, this is my very first one, and I'm really excited to have done it. But I know it's not perfect, and I'm not perfect, and you won't be perfect. Whatever you're starting to do to create the life that you most want, but you don't have to be perfect, and I don't have to be perfect. All we have to do is to get started. And unlike everything else in my life that I have found is that once you get started, then you start to figure out what you need to do, and you become perfect at it if that becomes your goal, you know. And so you get really good at it. You know, I used to have a whiteboard in my office that I told people about in my videos that said, you know, that you don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is be willing to be bad before you can be good. Because if you're willing to be bad, then you'll go ahead and get started. And you can, by being bad, you can get started and you can learn to be good. And, but yeah, sometimes we have really mental blocks, so 6 self-sabotaging behaviors. And I had my own mental blocks, and that's what brought me to this really amazing new process coming out of Australia that is based upon some new discoveries on how the brain waves function. And so we have learned about that process. I then I'm like in the process of getting certified in that process, and I'm one of the only 10 people in the United States that actually will be utilizing this process. And we'll be happy when you get your free 30-minute consult. We'll make sure that you know all about that. And so be sure that you click on that link and check in with us to find out more about, well, what's this coaching, how's this coaching going to help me? Because that's, you know, this is all about you. It's not about what it's going to do for me. You know, this coaching is all about how you can create the life that you absolutely want, whether that be more health, whether that be more wealth, more relationships, more sex, whatever you want. We just want to help you to create the life that you want. And so thanks a lot. Give the video a like if you liked it. And then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell so that you will get notified when the live streams come out, and I continue to doing them. And then look down there in the description. I've got a couple of links down there for you, and look down there in the description at those links so that you can also then know more about things that we have going on for you. So thanks a lot for being with me today. Until next time then.